Hey, Carmel. Hey, Haley. Hey, Fern. Hey, Lynette. So, everybody, knock on wood, upgraded the OS today, upgraded all my apps today. Hey, Suzanne. And so far, smooth sailing. No hiccups starting the stream, and everything appears to be smooth for the time being. The stream is still on. I think Melanie's watching something on the Roku, and we're still rocking and rolling. What are you doing in there? What are you doing? Dang it, I meant to bring the laser pointer with me and I forgot. It's in the living room. Yeah, Zelda's always in the box these days. When I came in, she was at the very top of the tree. She came down. But she likes to hide in the box. We used to always, we turned it up like this and put it up next to the cube so we could feed Stella and keep Wilson out of her dish. And we would always turn it back on its, well, upright, which means the holes would be on the side afterwards. And then she started jumping in it, and we just left it like that since she likes it so much. Stella. Come here, Stella. It's a rare event for her to be out and about, so I guess we should take advantage. Hey, Priscilla. Long time no see. What about a kicker? Are you interested in a kicker, Stella? And about the time that she starts feeling playful, my dog barked. It made her jump. Stella. Stella. Stella, come back. I don't know if she's contemplating litter box or what her deal is. Hey, Stella. You're fine. And there's a tabby at the door. Not sure you can hear him or not. Are you trying to get Zelda? They're all doing good. Um, I don't think she's playing at the moment. I think Wilson was. Stella. Stella. She's gonna mess with Zelda instead of listening to me. Come here. Stella, come here. Of course, she's got to roll over just out of my reach, because that's what Stella does. Now she's purring. Or was briefly. She loves attention. She's just pretty nervous. And maybe Melanie will let the dog out in a minute because she's going crazy trying to get out of the bedroom. Why are you biting me? Why are you biting me? Well, don't go hide now. And Tabby is apparently right outside the door. Hence this. And hence all the scratches on the door from when he used to be in here to eat all the time. I need to get my finger out of the shot. Tabby is trying to steal the kicker. I shouldn't encourage that. They've already wrecked the carpet. Just need to cut all that off. Which I may do in a minute, just because I'm tired of looking at shredded carpet there. Hey, come on. Well, Zelda finally came out. Did you hear Tabby and decided you need to come investigate? Tabby is very sweet to people and most cats, but as we've said, he's got this thing for Russell. They're currently at odds for some reason. I suppose that's true, especially when you have to be in such close proximity to them all the time. A bigger house would alleviate a lot of that, I think. It's just that they just don't have much room to get away from one another. But Tabby stayed in our bedroom all day with Mabel and Binks. So he had most of the house to himself today, or at least living room, kitchen, dining room, and the other bedroom. Hank, that's your buddy Tabby now. Come on. We had enough slap fighting last night, Wilson. There was enough of that last night. Okay, why did it freeze? What happened? Something just went wrong. I don't know if you guys can still hear me or not. It was going so well. Huh. Well, I guess I have no option but to restart the app, so stand by. You don't have to go anywhere. I'll be right back. You know, maybe we're back to where we were. There was no warning leading up to that one. Not sure what happened. But as I said, I upgraded or updated the OS and upgraded all my apps. It sort of worked. What you doing, Wilson? What about you, Hank? Not interested? Did you get it, Hank? He's trying. Hey! Let's be nice to one another. Nobody now. I just threw a little mouse toy in there. Did he get you? Well, Wilson, that was mean, Hank. You guys chill out. Oh my gosh. Hey, Connie. I'm going to have to go. You guys bear with me just a second. I've got to set the phone down. I don't know where Melanie is or why she's not getting the dog, but she just got her. Never mind. But I was still in my work clothes until just a few minutes ago, and I changed clothes, and anytime I walk in the bedroom, our border collie has to follow me in there. And she lays on her bed, and she's fine when you first walk out, and 10 minutes later, she's freaking out because she's by herself. What are you guys doing over there? Stella, is in the window. Perch is still holding. Glad about that. Oh, yes, very much so. We used to, when the weather was nice, we would leave her outside, and she was fine for a while, and then, I don't know, something changed where she does not want to be outside when we're not here. She would get under our storage building, and we would come home and we couldn't find her, and we didn't know where she was, and eventually we'd hear whimpering, and she would wedged herself under the storage building. There was a couple of times I thought I was going to have to dig her out, but she manages to get herself out. Don't walk back here, please. So after a few times of her digging under the storage building, we stopped leaving her outside when we're not here. She's fine if we're in the house or doing something, but if we leave the house and she's outside, she has a meltdown. Which Vinny, our lab, he's totally fine either way. He doesn't care. And a lot of times he would prefer to be outside, whether we're here or not. I don't blame him. I like to be outside when it's nice too. Wilson, better use the litter box without you bugging her. What, Wilson? I don't know what Stella's doing. She's scratching around, and then she starts talking, and then she kind of wiggles around like she's in a playful mood. We had one little freeze up right before you got here, Connie, but I have not gotten any complaints about picture quality tonight, and it seems somewhat smooth on my phone. Par for the course. Has it been that way the whole night? I'm just going to make Melanie start doing these. I don't understand what the issue is. She's in the living room, or was in the living room. She may be in here in a minute. She was doing something. Oh, if it's bad, just tell me. It seems to be. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait until Melanie does one and see if she has the same issue, but I just don't know what else to do. I'm sitting here clicking on settings and whatnot, and I don't see any way to change anything. That sucks. Is it painfully pixelated where like they look like yeah. Yeah, I was using my phone. Oh. Alright, well, let me set this down for a second and turn the other stream off and see if that gets us anywhere. I'm also going to go make Melanie quit hogging all the internet. Be right back. Tabby. No. No, Bates. Bates, why are you in here? Okay, tell me if it's any better or any worse. I'll restart the app if it's not any better. Binks, I'm going to throw you out. Yeah, Melanie was hogging all the internet. She got mad when I told her that. Okay, I gotta set the phone down again because Binks is in here and still it doesn't like it. Come on. Come on, Binks. Watch out. Tabby, you can't be in here either. No. No, Tabby. Now then. Yeah, when I opened the door to go out there, Tabby just kind of collapsed into the room. I guess he was on top of the gate. Stella, come here. That seems to be the way it is. And Melanie was on the Roku watching Stephen Colbert on YouTube or something, and pretty sure that takes up a lot of bandwidth. Why are you hissing at Zelda? Not for us. It's definitely a fact of life here. You gonna talk to me, Wilson? You gonna talk? Wilson. Hey, Wilson. 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 What's the matter, buddy? Yeah. Nothing to say right now. I don't know if I can lure Zelda back over here or not. Before I forget, I don't know how the weekend scheduling is going to go. Melanie's parents are coming down to visit, and I know they'll be here sometime Friday evening. I don't know what time yet. Hey, Aurora. So they'll be here Friday and Saturday and part of Sunday. I'm sure they will go back home on Sunday. So that's liable to affect our schedule some. Not that we have a real concrete schedule anyway, but for what that's worth. So we don't do a close-up one day this weekend. That'll be why. I have no idea what we're going to do. I think the weather's supposed to be bad Saturday evening. So playing it by ear. Wilson. Yeah, it'll stay up. We definitely have less problems with the main camera than we do when I do this. It's just weird that the Roku and this competing with one another somehow. You know, I wonder, and I'm rambling. I'm no IT guy by any means, but the new router we have goes up to 5 gigahertz. It is. And I noticed last night when we were having such a hard time, or when I was having such a hard time with the close-up stream, I noticed after the fact that this thing had gone back to the regular wireless system when it was supposed to be on the 5 gigahertz signal, and everything was slow on my phone, which is also on the 5 gigahertz signal. The Roku does not connect to the 5 gigahertz signal, and that was on tonight, and my phone was slow again. So I don't know if having something on the slower band screws up the 5 gig signal or what is going on, but that a theme has emerged in my head. whenever something intensive is using the non 5G signal, tends to affect what I'm doing. Because I bet I could turn the room stream back on and still not have any issues. Because I've got this, I just forgot the other network altogether on that computer. So it will only connect to 5G. Melanie, I think sometimes when the computer restarts or whatever, these guys bump it and turn it off, it goes back to whatever default settings, and the input volume in the settings gets turned all the way down. And Melanie didn't know how to fix it earlier. She said she tried to turn it on, but something was different, and that's what it is. You have to go in the system preferences and turn the input volume back up. I'll take care of that. So it'll be back on in a little bit. What are you staring at? Yeah, especially since Wilson won't talk to me tonight. Wilson. 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 Got nothing to say. Did you find a mouse? You did find a mouse, didn't you, Hanky? Wilson. Wilson. What's the matter, buddy? Wilson. He's not trying to take it from you, Hank. Oh, excuse me. Hank, you're the only one that's wanting to play. Everybody else is being lazy. Yeah, there wasn't too much zooming around today that I noticed. I was late getting there this morning. I had to go to a doctor's appointment this morning, so it was after 10 o'clock before I got there, or after 10:30 actually. I keep thinking I'm going to have to switch Lily's food again. She's the pickiest cat, and she's gotten to where the food we've been giving her and the others for however long now, quite a while, it's the little chunks, and she just licks the gravy off the chunks and leaves the food there, and she'll periodically go and eat dry food, but I don't know what her deal is. Well, one of our cats here, our oldest cat, the vet told us to, when we give her wet food, pour some warm water in it because she was a little dehydrated the last time we took her to the vet. And so we just pour a little warm water over the top and then kind of mix it together into a soupy consistency, and she eats it. I may start doing the same thing with Lily. Well, the thing is, Fern, she's had pate before too, and she's just a picky eater. Now, I bet if I went and bought her some really cheap food, she would gobble it up, but we try to spring for the food that's a little better as far as ingredients go, and she's just so picky about it. And Lily used to be a pretty hefty eater. She got a little pudgy for a little while, and then these guys all came along, and then she got stressed and didn't eat as much and lost quite a bit of weight. And now that even that they're gone, she hasn't started eating like she used to. Not that I want her to be pudgy, she doesn't need to do that, but I want her to eat more than she eats. Yeah, any cat that I've ever given cheap food to, they love it. And I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to give them cheap food. They could starve, you know. It's better than a starving cat. And if they won't eat anything else, then you do what you got to do. No shame in that. I used to feed the outside ferals a can of food every afternoon. And Stella too. You know, when Stella was still outside before I trapped her or caught her. It wasn't actually a trapping or a catching. It was more of a picking up and putting into a crate. But I used to give her Friskies in the can, and she loved it. All those cats, the other two ferals, they loved it. We're still feeding ours, the except for Murray, who gets the prescription food. Yeah, Connie, just feed them what they like. It's better than a starving cat. But we've been feeding all our others to the authority for quite a while. And they all seem to like that. So the thing that's irritating is we were getting our dog food auto shipped from Chewy and certain cat foods from Chewy, and things keep getting discontinued, or orders get delayed and then it gets discontinued, and we're gonna have to switch our dogs to something else now. Yeah, Aurora, I have a couple that are like that. If it's in their dish, they're gonna eat it. They don't really care what it is. Hanky. Well, somebody be interesting. Everybody's being lazy. You guys are lazy all day. Yeah, Lionel and Hank are both, or were both that way. I don't know about Lionel anymore. We sent him with 3 or 4 cans of wet food, but I don't know if he actually ate it or not. But I've almost, last night I split most of the wet food between Wilson and Zilla. I gave Hank a little pinch of it, but he would rather have the dry food. So I gave him more dry food, and I gave these two more wet food. Everybody was happy, so. And they all get the dry food in the mornings. But I don't think any of these guys would have gotten, well, any of them. Wilson's okay, and Hank is mostly okay. Zelda's gotten a little round around the middle, and Lionel got a little plump. And I think that's mostly our fault because we did the free feeding thing and left those feeders with food in them all the time when they were still at the office. It just depends on the cat, Priscilla. What I have been doing with these guys is, they have these plates. We haven't gotten them real dishes yet, which I think we probably should do. But we would just put a little bit of wet food and take a scoop of dry food and put it next to it, and they would eat one and then eat the other. We didn't really mix it together for them or anything. I think they preferred it separate. But the cans we got for these guys are the smaller cans, so it's not a lot of food. Split 3 ways, it's not a lot, so we just gave them a little bit of dry food to go with it. What are you guys doing? Hey, Ryder. Well, thank you, Ryder. I appreciate it. Not that I had anything to do with it, but I don't know what that sound is. What's going on in there, Wilson? Stella, are you ever going to come back down? Probably not. They don't know it, but we may have to close their window. Maybe not tonight, but probably tomorrow night. I think it's supposed to get kind of cool again. There's 4 cats in here. And double that outside of this room. But these are our fosters, so our permanent residents are elsewhere in the house. These are our very long-term fosters. Litter and food for our permanent cats, except for Murray, who is on prescription food. We get Authority brand at PetSmart. These guys, we have food on auto ship from Chewy for now until something gets discontinued. And if there's ever a time when something is discontinued, then we can usually get the same stuff at PetSmart. Just not for as cheap since we don't get the auto ship price. We can price match it, but auto ship is a little cheaper. And our dog food was coming from Chewy, but they've discontinued the senior variety of the flavor we were getting. So I went to PetSmart and bought quite a few cans of that yesterday so we can switch them over to something. I don't know what yet. Well, we got a week or so to figure it out. 10 days, I think. It was the Nutromax Senior Chicken and Lamb Chicken and Rice or something. I think that was the name of the flavor of it. But anyway, it was the senior variety of the canned dog food. And they didn't have the senior variety at PetSmart, but I got the same flavor in the non-senior variety. And so we're just kind of splitting the two kinds. Well, we still have some of the senior variety, and then we'll figure out what we're going to get them then. Really? This is the first for us as far as the senior brands. The food and stuff that we were getting for, or that we still get for Lily, Stumpy, and Clara, it goes out of stock all the time at Chewy, and I end up having to go to the pet store to get it. Did you get fuzz in your mouth, Hank? But I think I might investigate Tractor Supply and see what kind of foods they have there. Because I know some of it's supposed to be pretty good, and some of it that I was looking at is a little cheaper than what we have been getting. Not dramatically cheaper, but when you're buying for so many animals, every little bit helps. That's weird that it's only the senior variety that gets discontinued, though. Yeah, these guys are getting the Blue Buffalo Dry. Um, they get Nutro Max. I don't remember what flavor it is, but it's the smaller cans. It's actually chicken and ocean fish formula, I think. At least that's what the box says that's in here. I don't know if that's the same flavor as what they've got now without looking. I know it's in a white and yellow can, I can tell you that. And as I say, the other cats here, except for Murray, all get authority. I think that's for the urinary tract health thing. What's under my leg? Oh, you put a toy under there. Urinary SO or something like that, I think it's called. That's what we have to give Murray. The Royal Canin prescription stuff. Yeah, that's what Murray gets, dry and wet. And Salem has decided he likes the taste of it too, because he always tries to sneak in there and steal Murray's food while he's still eating. Yeah, that was the downside to it. Is he wasn't the greatest food, but it seems to have helped him. We have not had any more issues. Yeah, that's what we try to get. Um, but Murray just kept having, over and over, he just kept having issues where he would get infections and he would just like squat in the litter box and he wouldn't be peeing, but he would squat in there 5, 10 minutes at a time. But he just kept getting urinary tract infections, and it's just what we had to do. Hello, Stella. Hey, Stella. Come here. Decided to come back over here and be friendly. We've got it's not distilled water, but we do have a fountain with a filter in it. Where are you going, Stella? Of course, these guys don't have a filter in here. And it never would have worked when Lionel was still here. He liked to play in the water so much. I can only imagine the mess he would make with the fountain. He's out. I took stuff to storage and I forgot to get that stupid TV and put it in there. I just need to put that thing like in one of the Facebook yard sale groups and say free TV. Now you're going to talk, huh? Wilson. Wilson. What's the matter, Wilson? You wanted to, didn't you? Wilson. What's the matter, Wilson? But we got to get these guys adopted. It's crazy how long we've had them. I would love to keep them all, but we just cannot. Yeah, I wish I could have shown you guys Stella. How horrible she looked when we first got her. They already have some cats, Larry. And I don't think, even if they didn't, their cats have always been indoor, outdoor. And Melanie has told me stories about cats that have been indoor, outdoor up there that just disappear and that type of thing. We don't want that to happen to these guys. They need to be inside all the time. My sister wanted to adopt Clara, but she has really bad allergies. And see, the cat thing is still relatively new, I guess. I mean, it's for me. I always had dogs growing up. I never had cats until we got married. So I never experienced having outdoor cats and losing cats or any of that stuff. Nap time now. And I don't want to start now. I think the problem is that, I mean, it's just that they're used to us, and we can advertise them sort of on Facebook, but when we take them to PetSmart and people see them for the first time, if they've never watched any of the videos or anything like that, they don't know how sweet they are. They just know how tense and nervous and stressed out they are at PetSmart. They just don't show well there. I think that turns a lot of people away. But the people that, when they were at the office, that have come and seen the cats at the office in their environment, anybody that's come in to see them has adopted them. So I don't know. Maybe we just need to bring people here, let them see them here. But I don't want to miss the opportunity for eyes to be on them any chance we get. And Percy was the exception. He was adopted at PetSmart, but Percy was just a outgoing goof. Nothing bothered Percy. And Zelda does okay at PetSmart. She's not as stressed out as Wilson has been. This guy would be a ball of nerves, I think, if we tried to take him. No, I'm failing at keeping in touch with the guy just because I'm so busy at work, and I need to mail him something, and I'll follow up with him then. But I told him if he ever had any problems to let me know, and if he needed to come back, he was more than welcome. And I have not heard that, so I'm sure everything is fine. Lionel was an awesome cat. I don't know how anybody would have a problem out of him. But I just got the low battery warning, and it sounds like Tabby may be in there harassing my Russell. And Melanie is taking a bath. I just heard the bathtub fill up a little while ago, so we'll wind it down for tonight, and I'm going to go rescue my Russell, and he can hang out with me in the bedroom or something. Tomorrow, I hope, will be a normal day. I know we've got some more cleaning up to do before the weekend, so it may be later in the evening. It may be 6:30. We'll see. Sorry, we're very not structured with this anymore, but we'll get by as best we can. But I appreciate all you guys, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. So have a good night, everybody. We'll see you then.